Are you trying to get a U.S. bank account so you can more easily sell to your U.S. clients, get more clients in the U.S. because they can easily pay you in U.S. dollars? Maybe you want to have dollars in the U.S. and then spend it in other currencies so that you can make money on the exchange rates or just keep money in U.S. dollars. Maybe you're just from another country and you want to have U.S. bank accounts to have U.S. dollars. But if you want a U.S. bank account, I'm going to talk about in this video the easiest bank accounts you can get open right now online. And I do this all day. I help hundreds and hundreds of clients get their LLCs open, their documentation the right way, and do these bank account applications online. And I had a meeting with my support team who do bank applications literally all day, every day, and we went over the best banks in order for getting an account open online and some of the things you need when you're applying at those banks. And I'll reiterate, it's much easier to get US clients if you have US bank accounts. Now, personal bank accounts are hard to open unless you visit in the US, and because of the new remittance tax coming up, I just filmed a video about that, but because of that new remittance tax, I imagine it's gonna be harder to open personal business accounts. So therefore, opening LLC bank accounts, business bank accounts, is going to be more important than ever to get these open. And this is the update. These are the easiest accounts. Now, in case you didn't know, if you're a non-resident from outside the US, you don't pay taxes on income you earn outside the US, even if you get paid by US clients. So if you're running a consulting company, a marketing company, and you're getting paid into your US LLC account, but you do all the work from Lithuania, then you're not going to pay any taxes in the United States, which presents some very interesting opportunities for tax planning for my international travel-minded clients. And this is what I spend my time talking to clients about all day. I'm a CPA in the US. Now let's get to the meat of this because I've already given you enough preface. The first bank, the most popular fintech bank, not a bank, is Mercury, Mercury.com. Now we all know about them. I make a video about Mercury. You all watch it. I appreciate you guys. Mercury is still the easiest one to get an account at. If you can't get an account open at Mercury, your options are very few right after that. So we're going to go through that. Right now, they're not accepting PO boxes or mail forwarding addresses. So the big thing that we've seen is that when you're applying for Mercury, you might have to use the registered agent address. So if you open a company with Northwest or with Dula or whatever, then you're going to want to use that registered agent address and send in the articles for verification of the address. And that's still working for clients, and that's what they're requesting. Some clients are paying for like an anytime mailbox address, and that's not working. They just want the registered agent address, which is fine. And they do verify then your personal address where you're actually living and your citizenship and all that information. But that's the big thing there with Mercury. But they've been accepting registered agent addresses and they get you approved in a couple of days. I made another video about what you need to tell them, how you need to give them the right website. You need to give them something about you and be really descriptive about the business you're providing. Make sure everything matches on the application with your personal documents. Nothing's expired. You apply for everything with as much detail as possible with your website, your LinkedIn, your Upwork, whatever you're doing. Link as much and provide as much support as possible and talk about how you're serving US clients. Mercury is good. The second best and the second fastest is going to be RelayFi. RelayFi has a lot of the same tools, if not more tools, than Mercury. And it's also an online bank. You never have to go into the bank. It's amazing. It's actually a fintech company that works with ThreadBank. Mercury has other banking partners. You can read about that in other videos. But and the short of it is, if you have an LLC and an EIN, you can open these accounts. So number one, Mercury. Number two, RelayFi. Now the dish on RelayFi is that it used to be more complicated. Now it's getting a little easier with the addresses, at least from our end, for our clients. They don't want registered agent addresses much. They want different addresses. They're more limited on citizenships and they are slower to approve than Mercury. But again, I like working with them personally. Not too much other news there. Now the next one we're going through on the list is FaceBank. It's a Puerto Rican bank. Puerto Rico is part of the US, different banking rules, but it has ACH, US wires, US debit cards. The thing here is this takes about a month to get open. So I'd check out FaceBank. We've been helping some clients with this. Another one that's come up recently is Slash Financial, slash.com. It works with a similar bank. I think it's the same bank that Mercury works with, Community National or whatever. It's a fintech bank. You can apply with them. You can push and push and push with them. Because it's smaller, I think they're easier to get people open if you're going to be pushing. So I have a guy who is, I think he was Lebanese that I talked to the other day, and his only bank was Slash. I don't even know how he got it open, but he said he applied, he contacted them, he followed up, and he got that account open with them, and it's been very helpful and worked great for him. Here we're talking about U.S. bank accounts, and these are fintech banks, online banks, but they're the easiest because you don't have to travel to the U.S. to get an account open. So check out Slash Financial. I personally have not used it, but I have clients that have used it and had good experiences. Another one that we go down is Revolut. It's not really a bank. It's more of an EMI, but it operates a lot like a bank and has a really good reputation like a bank would or like a fintech bank would. So check out Revolut. It's generally more for Europeans, but you can definitely get an account open. I got an account open a couple weeks ago. I don't like it a ton, but if it was my only account, I would love it. Because I'm with Relay, I like that a lot more. I have a lot of bank accounts, guys. I open so many companies and banks. So Relay is a good one to check out. Now it gets harder. After these first like 4 or 5 options, really Mercury and Relay are the best. If you can get those open, you're golden. You can run a huge business and it works great. FaceBank, not as good. Gives you banking, slower, more expensive. Slash Financial could work. It might be better than FaceBank. Check it out. There's a lot of like really terrible ones like Truly Financial was one that's supposed to work, but they don't really ever work. I have the whole list. But after you get through that, Highbeam can work for non-residents, but you need to be doing an e-com business with over $100,000 a month. It's cool. I have a Highbeam account. I don't do that much in e-commerce, but I opened it a long time ago. And that's why opening accounts now and getting started now is super important, because you can get an account open and then they can make it harder to get an account, but you already have an account. So you're golden. That's why I have a Highbeam account. It's just a regular stupid bank account, but I'm in the US. I don't take it for granted. Next, after Highbeam, is Brex. I really love Brex. Not a bank, but it's hard to get approved. I'm trying to go through from easiest to most difficult of getting approved. Brex is tough to get approved, but it is possible. So that's why I'm putting it on here. Now the rest, there's so many banks online, right? But you know, I'm talking to you guys, my non-resident brethren out here. You are my friends from India, my friends from Mexico, whatever. You're from outside the US. You're not American, so you can't apply to all the same banks that I can because I have a social security number. I mentioned in one of the last videos that you have the US identity you can create. So if you were to get an ITIN number, ideally a social security number, that would be amazing. If you get a social, that's amazing. If you can get an ITIN, a residential address, a personal bank account, then you can apply to so many other banks like Novo. I use Novo. I have that for a couple. There's so many banks. Literally, if you search like best online banks, 30 banks will come up. But most of them only will work with Americans. But if you have a US address and an ITIN, then you can apply to those banks as well. And that's something that I would definitely recommend. It would make your life easier in getting those things open, especially if you have an issue with banking. But if you have Relay, you have Mercury, you have Wise, and last time you went to Miami, you opened a Chase account, you don't need any more banks. You are set and you are good to go. I have other videos that I filmed about how to open accounts when you come to the US in person. Those are always changing. Stay subscribed to the channel if you're a non-resident and you are doing banking and you have questions about it. That's all I talk about. I think I'm the only one on the internet doing this stuff. Going to the US is more complicated. It is possible and it's another option. This video is just about the easiest accounts to do online. I think I accomplished that goal and explained that. If you have another bank that you've used, I'm not talking about EMIs. There's a lot of EMIs out there like Wise, obviously, but Wise isn't a bank and it's an electronic money intermediary. So if you have other banks or FDIC insured institutions that will bank with non-residents with US companies or personally, I would love to hear that. Please comment below. And in the next video, I will show you how to apply for a US credit card once you have this account set up. So I have this, once you get this account set up and you get your ITIN, you can click this video and we'll talk about US credit cards. So check this video out. I'm sure you'll love it. And I'll see you on the next one.